Got it. Rinse and repeat from beyond the arc.
Smart 18, Toyota, and Woodman's. You've been listening to Bucks Basketball on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes, allergies, cancer. Nothing will keep the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network from pushing Wisconsin ahead. We're constantly raising the bar for medical excellence and providing more ways to receive it, so you have it for all your health needs, big and small. Let's push ahead, and we'll make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
Visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great-paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now that the game is done, it's our time to check in.
James defended by Giannis in the crouch. Inside of 10 seconds to play to shoot. LeBron sees the opening, drives inside, blocked at the rim by Giannis.
Bucks Talk starts now.
LaRavia driving inside, ball poked away by Giannis from behind. It's into the hands of Porter, who is fouled. Oh, Giannis does it again.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, here's Justin Garcia.
Well, a much-needed win tonight, not only in terms of your record and trying to keep pace with those teams directly in front of you in the East, but, you know, we talked about it immediately after the game with Dave Kane. This is precisely the type of win it feels like this group needed to continue to build on here and kind of be that boost that this group may, I don't know if I'd say desperately, but may really need at this point. This may be the stepping stone to help keep pushing you in the right direction. Now, again, we say that all of that, and while 2-2 is certainly what you'll take, and that should have been worst case scenario and baseline, having said all that, they could revert and lose to the Denver Nuggets, and then we're going back to having the same conversations Sunday night. But it does feel like they're slowly building something here. What that something is, what the ceiling of it is, you know, TBD. I'm not by no means saying, hey, the Bucks are suddenly one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, but they're doing the things they need to do, and they're doing them at a more consistent rate so far. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us here this morning on Bucks Talk for everybody that is still awake and still with us and sat through that thriller tonight. Again, we mentioned this on the postgame as well. That is the first clutch loss the Lakers have suffered this season. And not only that, it is the first time the Lakers have lost by single digits. You can lose clutch games by double digits, right? The definition of a clutch game is at any moment in the final 5 minutes of the game, the margin is within 5. So if it's a 5-point game with 4 minutes and 59 seconds remaining, and then the opponent goes on a 10-0 run and you ultimately lose by 17, that was still a clutch game. The Lakers, all of their losses have been by double figures. The least amount of points they had lost by prior to tonight was 10 on opening night against the Golden State Warriors. And if you followed along, you know that was kind of becoming an underlying story here so far this season, that the Lakers, despite the record and being a top 5 team in the Western Conference, they had a negative point differential. And the reason for that, they have 6 losses this season by 20 or more points. It is a team that has lost 13 games. So half of those losses have been blowouts. The average margin of defeat in those previous 12 games was 18. So the longer this game went, and you could see, oh man, it's Lakers jumped in front or it's single digits, the more uneasy feeling that you got. Like this was starting to trend towards another game, and really not just one singular game, a script we have become all too familiar with this season for the Bucks, and that is games that you control for large portions, or at least felt very comfortable in, and played incredibly well. Doc said after the game he felt like they played really good for 36 minutes. In 12 minutes, it left a lot to be desired, and the big difference was movement without the ball and just overall, ball movement itself. But we have seen this countless times this season. Think about how many times we mentioned, well, there's 5 or 6 games really you would look at and say late game execution or what happened in the final few minutes of this game. This felt like it was trending towards that once again. And not only that, this was really starting to feel like that game early this season against the Houston Rockets, where you controlled it all the way up until early in the fourth quarter. And then eventually the lead just dissipated, and the Rockets built up a margin and controlled things in the final few minutes and won the game. And when the Lakers reclaimed the lead and pushed it to 2 possessions, too, at 4 points, it just felt like, here we go again. And that's why we started by saying this feels like the exact type of win this team needed at the moment they needed it most, to see, okay, what we're doing, playing better, building these principles, working on good habits, largely exhibiting that over the course of the last 10 or so games. Now we're starting to see even more movement against good teams, because everything we've pointed out of, hey, the Bucks have played better and the Bucks are doing X, Y, and Z here, you could very quickly poke a hole in that balloon and say, well, who are they doing it against? What is the level of competition? By record, the Lakers are a good team. You can find metrics that suggest they're not, but if we look at the standings, the Lakers are a good team. And it's still LeBron James and Luka Doncic that you did this against. So that's why this does very much feel like exactly what this group needed. And now can you pay it off? Can you have a winning road trip in a game and win a game Sunday night in Denver against the Nuggets? 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us tonight on Bucks Talk. We'll preview and take a closer look at what to expect from that Denver Nuggets team. Don't expect what you usually see from them. They are much, much different now, but they're still finding ways to win despite not having Nikola Jokic or Jonas Valanciunas for that matter. So we'll take a closer look at the Nuggets and, some other trends and numbers that have started to set in for this Bucks team going back well over 2 weeks now. Last 9 games that we look at where this team has gone 6-3, some things that are starting to stand out. We'll get into those coming up after this on Bucks Talk.
This is Bucks Talk.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well,
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Close your eyes and picture Europe by water, sunlit ports, ancient cities, and effortless elegance. With Viking Cruises and Fox World Travel, the Mediterranean becomes your front porch. No crowds, no casinos, just culture, cuisine, and curated experiences designed for curious travelers. From Italy to Greece, every detail is handled, so all you do is savor the journey. Ready to sail Europe the refined way? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book today.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Want to tell you about my friends at the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, right off Silver Spring, and it is our go-to place for doggy daycare, boarding, and grooming services for our Greyhound night. Amazing place, amazing people, and designed for dogs. For years, we've trusted the Hounds and Tap with nights daycare, boarding, and grooming because, well, they're the best. If you're searching for top-tier services and a team you can trust, check out the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. View their services online and get connected at thehoundsandtap.com.
Welcome back to Bucks Talk.
(105-101), the final score tonight in Los Angeles. The Bucks outlast the Lakers and hand them their first loss in the clutch this season. It was really remarkable when you look at where this game was won, because, again, it speaks to what this team is doing better, right? And let's just start there. It just, as cliche as it sounds, take one game at a time, get better each game, and let's work on these things. You're not going to erase whatever it was, 7, the largest that the Bucks fell below 500. You're not going to make that up in one game, just as we saw and talked about last year, albeit much earlier in the schedule when the Bucks were 2-8 to start the season. But just put one foot in front of the other and just start to play better. Can we commit to doing that and see where it takes us? And tonight, the critical areas that the Bucks have been victimized by, and it's not just tonight, to be clear, but against a team that really excels in these spots. Points in the paint. That's where the Lakers' production comes from, because obviously LeBron James is going to score in the paint. He's going to break down defenders and get into the painted area and either score himself or find teammates there. Luka Doncic, the lob threat that he is to find and set up his teammates and get to the paint and score. Not only do the Lakers score a lot of points in the paint, they are efficient at scoring in the paint. And the Bucks won both categories tonight. 50 points scored in the painted area for the Bucks, 46 for the Lakers. And the Bucks shot 68% in the paint to 49% shooting from the Lakers. So check that one off the list. Turnovers, you had more. And a lot of those problems came in the second half. But you forced 13 from the Lakers, and you used those to get out and run. It is also a Lakers team that wants to play at a more deliberate pace and play in the half court. And early, especially in the first half, you could see the Bucks were forcing the Lakers to get up and down the floor and run. And they were taking advantage of it. And that, in many ways, reminded you of what we saw the first 5 games of this season, when the Bucks were, again, consistently doing that. So they won that front. Offensive rebounds, the Lakers had 15 of them. They had more than you. You still had double figures in offensive rebounds, and you scored 23 points off of those. So you were plus 8 in second chance points coming via the offensive rebound. You were plus 5 in points off of turnovers. You were plus 4 in points in the paint. And remarkably, you were +9 in points scored at the free throw line against a Lakers team with LeBron James and with Luka Doncic, who himself is averaging 12 free throw attempts per game. Luka very uncharacteristically shot 50% at the line tonight. And overall, this was not a good Luka Doncic game. He scored 24 points. He needed 25 shots to get there. 4 of 8 at the free throw line. But the Lakers took 14 free throws in this game. 8 from Luka, 6 from LeBron. You got to the free throw line more than a Lakers team with those two players that already gets to the free throw line quite a bit. And you did this in a game where Giannis himself only attempted 4. They won all those, the hustle categories. They won on the margins. All these areas that have plagued and doomed the Bucks for large portions of this season, they won on those fronts. And they have started to consistently do that more and more. In these last 9 games, what stands out the most, too, is this is a Bucks team now that, look, you can point to the schedule, and as we said, at this point, I don't care who it is that the Bucks played and who they're doing it against. The more important thing is just start to consistently do it and build on that. And that's what we've seen for 9 games now, dating back to, December 23rd. So, again, this is 3 weeks that we're talking about. 6-3 in those 9 games. And this is clearly the best win in that group against a team that was 5th in the Western Conference. But in those 9 games, the Bucks are now number 11 in offensive efficiency. They're number 11 in defensive efficiency. They're number 12 in net rating. And, rebounding, basically middle of the pack. They're still in the bottom 5 or just outside of the bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. It is what it is, right? They have started to consistently crash boards a little bit more. And one other thing that they're doing more consistently is rather than just getting back in transition, we're seeing guys hang out kind of by the free throw line-ish a lot more, which if you're going to take threes, you're going to have a lot of long rebounds. And if that's where you're waiting for them, we saw it benefit the Bucks a couple of times tonight where that's how you get offensive rebounds. Just be there, and you're not already back near midcourt or on the other end of the court. So they've kind of positioned themselves there a little bit more. So offensive rebounding has at least improved. It's not great. It's not elite. We don't expect it to be that. Even when the Bucks were an elite team, there was only 1 year in that 7-year stretch that they were a good or committed much more to offensive rebounding as a team. Defensive rebounding is the disappointment. That is where this team really cut their teeth and excelled for nearly a decade. But in this stretch, they're just better than league average, 14th. And a pretty similar story in overall rebounding, where they're 16th. So you look at a near top 10 team in offense and defense, league average basically at rebounding the ball, league average up to 15th now in turnover rate, and offensive efficiency, their true shooting percentage, 7th. So they're starting to win that math battle with their rebounding and cutting down on turnovers, and they're still one of the more efficient teams at shooting the basketball. So that's increasing your offense. It's also helping your defense. These are the baby steps to take to get there. You're going to have to consistently beat good teams, but let's just start to piece something together that we can hang our hat on and start to find some type of identity. And that's what we're slowly starting to see over the course of 9 games now. 855-616-1620. The Siding Unlimited talk and text line if you want to join us this morning on Bucks Talk. We'll take a closer look at this Denver Nuggets team and what to expect from a group still without their bigs, and most notably, Nikola Jokic. We'll take a look at that matchup next on Bucks Talk.
You're listening to Bucks Talk.
Save big money on new appliances when you shop at Menards. We have an excellent in-stock appliance selection from great brands at the best prices, ready to take home today. Whether you want new laundry appliances or need upgrades for your kitchen, you'll be sure to find appliances that'll make your life easier. Visit Menards and save big money on appliances today. Plus, check out Menards.com to view all of our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The Roundball Repartee returns. This is Bucks Talk.
$105-101 final score tonight. Bucks take down the Lakers. A memorable game. One of their better wins of the season, goes without saying. A season that so far has only seen this team win 17 games, but a much-needed victory. And not only that, against, again, a Lakers team that, not just the Lakers. Look at every team on this road trip. We said coming in, they're beatable. These are gettable games. Obviously, the Sacramento Kings, who to say they're struggling and going through it is putting it very mildly. But that's a gettable game. You got it. The Warriors, Steve Kerr himself said 2 days before that game was played, we are not the Warriors of old. We are not this group that we used to be. And a lot of times we have to remind guys that's the case. They have been around a 500 team. And that was a frustrating loss because just as we said, this one was trending towards, that was another game that was winnable. It was there for the taking. You had your opportunities. You were incredible with Giannis on the floor. It was when he went off the floor that things started to slip away and you started to lose hold of the rope. But we can count on multiple hands. We would need multiple hands to count the number of games just like that the Bucks have played through this season where you felt like, man, we really should have got that one. That Lakers game was another one. This one, a gettable game, and you got it. You knew there wasn't going to be Austin Reeves, which is as crazy as it is to say. Austin Reeves has given the Bucks just as much trouble as anyone else of this group, of LeBron James, of Luka Doncic. The LeBron reasoning is largely because, well, you haven't seen LeBron in quite a while. Tonight, this was the first time LeBron and Giannis squared off in a game, non-All-Star, in a regular season game, since December 2nd, 2022 at Fiserv Forum. 3+ years. since LeBron and Giannis went head-to-head. And the Lakers won that game behind 44 points from Anthony Davis. So it had been a long time coming. LeBron James was their best player tonight. With his playmaking ability, he made some critical defensive plays as well, especially the one where he got Giannis and anticipated that spin move that led to another basket and the Lakers reclaiming the lead. But Giannis ultimately got him even more. 2 big plays down the stretch, and really the final 30 seconds of this game. The defensive plays that we saw in the final, 90 seconds, where you had the Miles Turner corner 3, Giannis gets the block on LeBron, but ultimately leads to a Jake LaRavia 3, and the foul on Luka Doncic, where he fouls out of the game, a night that he struggled immensely. Kevin Porter Jr. hits 4 of 5 free throws in the closing seconds of this game, in the final, 16 seconds of the game, to ice this win for the Bucks. And, not only that, that was a clear foul by Luka Doncic. There was lower body contact. And I don't think it ultimately would have been ruled a flagrant. But I was still moderately surprised this was not reviewed for a landing zone infraction. But Giannis's block on LeBron, even though it led to that Jake LaRavia 3, and then Giannis's play, kind of baiting LeBron into it, meeting him out there on the three-point line, as Doc talked about it after the game too, that you know what LeBron wants to get to in that spot. And Giannis knew it and said, I'm going to meet you there, and I'm going to force you to drive on me. And the long arms of Giannis just pokes the ball loose, and the Bucks are able to seal it. Why we say this was exactly what they needed is a number of things. Number one, you got to beat good teams. Because as much lip service as we paid to, 11th in offense, 11th in defense, you've got to start to do that and carry that over against good teams now. Like, you can start to build your foundation and build some momentum against teams beneath you in the standings, but now carry it over against good teams. And again, by record, the Lakers are a good team. Do it again against another good team by record in the Denver Nuggets. And I'll take it a step further, too. Good team by record, but a team that's still playing overall pretty well, even without Nikola Jokic. Like, I think we all kind of assumed this is disaster zone. They just recently lost Cam Johnson. They got Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown back, I think, 2 games into the absence for Nikola Jokic. So they're still playing without the hub of everything. We've seen how that's worked out for the Bucks. But Denver's gone 3-3 in that stretch without Jokic. Their offense has fallen off significantly, which is to be expected when you don't have a player as important as Luka Doncic, arguably the greatest offensive player we have seen in decades. They've dropped all the way down to 26th in scoring since Jokic left. But it is a game team. Dismantled tonight by the Atlanta Hawks. Prior to that, they beat the Boston Celtics, who are currently second in the East. They beat the 76ers, who have been playing much, much better. And that was a game, you look at some of the starting lineups that Denver is throwing out there. They hung tough with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it really felt like they were going to win that game. They started this stretch by beating the Toronto Raptors. So they have beaten the best of the best in the Eastern Conference, at least what's been on their schedule. And you look at some of the starting lineups they're throwing out there on a nightly basis now with no Jokic. Aaron Gordon still coming off the bench. Daron Holmes, Spencer Jones, Bruce Brown, Jalen Pickett, Peyton Watson. That was the starting lineup against the Boston Celtics in that victory. Tonight, in the loss to the Atlanta Hawks, Hunter Tyson, Peyton Watson, Daron Holmes, Christian Brown, Jalen Pickett. That's the Denver Nuggets that you're going to be catching. Still got Tim Hardaway, still got Aaron Gordon, still got Bruce Brown, Zeke Naji all of a sudden a factor again. So you still have those guys. Jamal Murray did not play tonight. And who knows what his status is going to be for Sunday. But this group has been playing with something to prove. When you look at guys like Peyton Watson, I mentioned Zeke Najee, guys that have been afterthoughts and out of the rotation in the case of Najee, now have that opportunity to reclaim something. That's a dangerous team. So you have to carry this same energy over into that game on Sunday night, and you have to continue to execute in these areas that we talked about the Bucs being much better at, even though it's not elite. League average, I'll take that over what this team was through November and through December. The most jarring parts about tonight's game is we went through all of those areas that the Bucs won. They took more free throws than the Lakers. They made more free throws than the Lakers. They outscored them in second chance points. They outscored them in points off of turnovers. They outscored them in the paint. They were more efficient from the floor, from two. Yet it was another game where the true shooting difference was significant. Lakers took 91 shots to 79 from the Bucs. So, taking 8 more free throws isn't going to offset that. It was, I believe, a +8 margin in true shooting attempts for the Lakers. And the Bucs are still third worst in the league in that category. That is the other thing. You were seeing that number start to shrink more and more until it started to regress a bit these past few games. That, to me, is the biggest one to keep an eye on. Is all of this it's great. It's all well and good that you're rebounding better, that you're cutting down on turnovers, but we've got to see those true shooting attempts start to come down for the opponent. Because right now, as I mentioned, third worst in the league. The opponent on a nightly basis is taking 4 more true shooting attempts per game than you. The only 2 teams worse than the Bucs are the Dallas Mavericks and the Washington Wizards. And those are not 2 teams you want to be mentioned with or in the company of in any statistical category. So -4 is not going to cut it. There's 13 teams in the league that have a negative differential. I don't know realistically what can be done there. Like, the die is probably cast at this point to have a -4 difference, but start to chip away at that number, right? If you're going to be one of the 13 teams, make it marginal. Get into the 2s, get into the 1s. Like, oh, the Bucs are -1 in true shot attempts. You can live with that. That's the biggest thing to keep an eye on. And again, true shot attempts is just to factor in how many field goals, how many shots, as it sounds, how many shot attempts are you getting up there? It's basically an indication of the pace that you're playing at. Because you're taking your free throw attempts, multiplying it by 0.44 to factor in technicals and ones to see how many field goal attempts actually happened here. And adding that to your overall field goal attempts. So again, -8 tonight for the Bucs. And season long, -4. That is the one thing to continue to monitor. But it's a Denver Nuggets team that excelled at it with Jokic on the floor. They have also seen that number start to drop here over the course of the last 6 games. Sunday night, a chance to say this was the springboard for us. You still have an incredibly tough schedule in front of you, but Sunday, if you can leave this road trip 3-1 and say, we did that, schedule's still tough, but now it's on to the next, and let's continue to build something. And Doc even joked about it himself. Like, look, if we win 2 out of 3 games for the rest of the season from here on out, even though it's not a win streak at all, even though it's not any lengthy winning streak that we're putting together, that's something, right? And if we do that, we're going to be in a good spot. So maybe that's what this team has in store for us. We'll take a look at those upcoming games beyond just Sunday in Denver against the Nuggets. And again, the landscape of the Eastern Conference. We'll dig into that conversation coming up after this.
The Hardwood Homilies continue after this. This is Bucs Talk.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke.
Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful.
But it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
And we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's a robber, and if you ignore it, it will just keep taking and taking. I know how pain can consume you. It steals the fun out of life. It steals your energy. And it's just a dark cloud over a lot of people's lives, even on the sunniest of days. But your joint pain does not have to rob you of your life or your happiness. Because at Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that can rejuvenate your life. In a world where big box healthcare has driven pain treatment costs through the roof and has made it look like joint replacements are your only option, Rejuvenex has kept pain treatment affordable for almost anyone. And for most with insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, we've seen pain treatment paid for by insurance with zero out-of-pocket cost to our patients. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. Don't let pain rob you. Take action today so we can help make your joint pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. This is Bucks Talk.
.105-101 final tonight in Los Angeles. It's the Bucks outlasting the Lakers, dropping the Lakers now to 10-1. Or excuse me, 13-1 in clutch games. The Bucks improved to 11-10. And just standout plays down the stretch from Giannis and Kevin Porter Jr. on both ends of the floor for Giannis. KPJ with that huge basket, too, where he was the guy that just kept moving and worked himself into the dunker spot, some nifty footwork on the baseline to get the lay-in and tie the game. And then the Bucks just made defensive plays down the stretch. And when I say the Bucks, it was largely Giannis blocking LeBron, even though it led to that Jake LaRavia 3, and then stripping LeBron to seal this win and give the Bucks their 6th win in the last 9 games. Again, by the numbers, they're just outside of the top 10 in offense, defense, and net rating. And Billy Donovan would talk about this a lot, the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, that we're at 9, so you're almost there. But he and other coaches will do this too. But Billy Donovan was the first to really acknowledge it. You look at the game or at the season in 10-game chunks and see what did we do well during this stretch of 10 games? What did we maybe not do well? Where did we get better in the next stretch of games? Where did we regress a little bit? And that's how you jump into some of those things. So this 10-game sample size, let's see if we can make that 7-3 and in to the top 10 in offense and defense and net rating. So the way to do that is to beat the Denver Nuggets. And again, it's still going to be a challenge even without Nikola Jokic. They're 3-3 in the 6 games they have now played without him, but their defense is where the issues now lie. 25th in defensive efficiency in those 6 games without Jokic, and the areas where the Denver Nuggets have struggled, their offense has slid down to the middle of the pack, but they have not been rebounding the basketball. It's almost as if we're repeating the same lines we used for the Bucks early in the season. They're 26th in rebounding rate. They are 25th in defensive rebounding rate. They are 28th in offensive rebounding rate. The efficiency that they were scoring with earlier in the season, it's easy to see why that has torpedoed. Middle of the pack in true shooting percentage and effective field goal percentage in offensive rating. Goes without saying, when you don't have Nikola Jokic, you're not going to be great at those areas. They're turning the ball over. And they're not rebounding the ball. If it sounds familiar, again, they're all the things that plagued the Bucks in November and December and really up until the week of Christmas when it felt like they're starting to piece some things together here and then coincides with getting Giannis back. So take advantage of all of those areas. We're seeing the Bucks do that more and more, but this is an opponent that is going to give you the opportunity to do so. And it's easy to see why the rebounding numbers have struggled. There's no Nikola Jokic. There's no Jonas Valanciunas. Aaron Gordon's coming off the bench and still slowly working his way back in a minutes restriction. You're going to have the advantage there. And we've seen steady growth on the glass. You're going to have a big advantage on Sunday. Use that to push forward those true shooting attempts and the difference, I should say, in that, and start to chip away at that deficit. So what does the Eastern Conference look like, and what is this schedule in front of the Bucks? It is incredibly challenging, right? Even when you wrap up this road trip, I should say, with this game in Denver against the Nuggets on Sunday night, in a sense, you breathe a sigh of relief, especially if you win and say, hey, we got through it at 3-1. Now on to what's next. But what's next is only one home game and then another tough trip away from Milwaukee. We'll dig into the schedule in front of the Bucks and wrap things up after this on Bucks Talk.
This is Bucks Talk.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes, allergies, cancer. Nothing will keep the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network from pushing Wisconsin ahead. We're constantly raising the bar for medical excellence and providing more ways to receive it, so you have it for all your health needs, big and small. Let's push ahead, and we'll make life here as great as it can be. Visit Froedtert.com to find out how.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great-paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Every year I make the same resolutions.
What, get rid of your husband?
Don't be silly. No, get organized, and I'm finally keeping it.
Because we're turning that cluttered closet into a custom space that actually works.
More shelves, better hanging.
Space for shoes and sanity.
Start the new year with a closet that makes your mornings easier.
It's one resolution you don't have to do alone. We'll design it with you.
Get started at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Welcome back to Bucks Talk.
Bucks beat the Lakers tonight in Los Angeles, 105-101, and now wrap up this 4-game road trip Sunday night in Denver against the Nuggets. I had mentioned it is still a very challenging schedule that is in front of the Bucks. After that road trip wraps, you come home for one game. Tuesday in Minnesota against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's a Timberwolves team that, again, we said there's a long list of these games that have felt like, man, they really should have won this game, and they controlled for large portions, had a chance to win, just let go of the rope. Minnesota on the road was one of those games. You could also make a case that was a classic trap game where the Timberwolves had just beaten the Oklahoma City Thunder and had a matchup with the Knicks looming. A Giannis-less Bucks team they were probably not too locked in on. But still, it is a winnable game. After that Timberwolves game, you go on the road for 2 games. So glass half full, glass half empty, however you want to look at it here, is after the road trip ends, you play 4 of your next 6 at home. But it's Minnesota. It's Oklahoma City. It's Denver. And again, it's going to be Denver without Nikola Jokic and Jonas Valanciunas. And then it's Dallas. The 2 road games, though, are 6 days from now, or 5 days from now. Thursday in San Antonio against the Spurs, our first look at Victor Wembanyama and the number 2 in the Western Conference, San Antonio Spurs. Then you get 3 days off, and then it's a big one. Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Monday, January 19th, a noon tip in Atlanta against the Hawks. It is the first time you've seen the Hawks this season, and it's the new-look Hawks. C.J. McCollum did not play tonight, but C.J. McCollum will have made his Hawks debut by then. But it's Jalen Johnson's show. They've tossed him the keys, and he continues to ascend and take over. And they're now 19-21, just a game in front of you. You're a half game back of the Bulls and a game back of the Hawks. So this game is huge for the Bucks. You have 16 games between now and the All-Star break, and 6 of those, as of this moment, 6 of those are against teams with a losing record. Really, the only one that's close is Atlanta. I mean, I suppose you can lump the Bulls in there as well, but the Hawks have 4 games between now and that matchup. You have 3 games. Atlanta would need to go 3-1 to just get to 500 by the time you square off. So for all intents and purposes, 6 of your 16 are against teams with a losing record. Now, in the past, we have said those are non-negotiables. You got to win those. We have also seen this team not consistently do that. I do think at this point you have to look at it and say, look, we have to get 5 of those games against teams with a losing record. Because the other ones, at Denver, at San Antonio, Minnesota at home, Oklahoma City at home, Denver at home, Philadelphia on the road, Boston on the road, 2 games in Orlando, and then in Oklahoma City. I mean, the close to the first half of the schedule. Monday, February 9th in Orlando against the Magic. First time you're seeing the Magic this season. Wednesday, February 11th in Orlando against the Magic. And then Thursday, February 12th. Night 2 of a back-to-back, and it's in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. So you go from Florida to OKC in one night and take on that Thunder team. Your second time seeing Oklahoma City. So it is very challenging that you have in front of you. And then coming out of the All-Star break, we'll get to that as we get closer, but some very important games immediately out of the chute. Toronto, Miami, Cleveland, New York, Chicago. Every game you have with Chicago and Atlanta from here on out is huge. And those Orlando games, potentially huge, as right now Orlando and Cleveland are playing tournament teams. So you got some tough ones here between now and the end of February. Treading water, as we said, it's just not going to be good enough. Like if you tread water, yeah, you can get the 10 seed, right? Maybe you're lucky enough to get the 9 seed. But all that means is you got to win 2 games to make the playoffs. So that is not the goal and objective here. Wrap up this road trip with a win. Get to 3-1 on the road. Keep building that momentum and see if maybe they can finally peel off a win streak here and get to 3 straight victories. But just continue to win in the margins and do those things we mentioned that they have consistently been doing, protecting the ball more, scoring off of turnovers. They've still remained a very good transition defense, but continue to take steps forward in rebounding the basketball and protecting the ball and you're going to start to see some more and more wins here popping up in that wins column. Sunday night, 7 o'clock tip from Denver as we wrap up this 4-game West Coast road trip. 6:30 is when the pregame coverage gets started on the BMO Bucks radio network. And as always, be sure to stick around after the game for Bucks Talk. We'll talk with you once again Sunday evening.
Is it time to buy an engagement